Good morning everybody, welcome back to my channel. I hope you are all having a fantastic day. Today I am doing a video which I have seen a lot of other people do, but I just wanted to do it mostly for my own amusement. I'm doing my 90s makeup video, or technically what I used to wear when I was at school. I actually pulled out a picture of my of what I used to look like when I was in my late teens. This is me at a college in the 90s. Here I am, that's me, yes, there. As you can see, I don't look that much different, although, you know, a little bit chubbier around the cheeks and what have you. But that was me when I was about 17 or 18. And I had just won an award for Learner of the Year at a college for doing hairdressing. Really didn't even enter myself, can't even tell you how I won it, but I did. Yeah, but if you just look really closely at that picture, you can see that I am very, very pale-faced. I literally have hardly any makeup on at all, a little bit of eyeliner, a little bit of eyeshadow, and some foundation. So that is what we're going to do today. I've actually managed to find some of the products that I used back in the day on YouTube, on eBay, and on you can still get one of them anyway. So, and they've got more shades now, which is amazing. But yeah, I found some of the products that I used to use back in the day. I've purchased them for this video. So yeah, we're just gonna kind of roll with it, see what you guys think, have a good giggle, and yeah, let's get on with it, shall we? So back in the 90s, I never used to prime my face. I did use a moisturiser. I used to use Hydra Florel by Decleor, but today I'm using Elemis because I just don't see the point in buying a £60 moisturiser that my mum used to buy me, and now I use Elemis, so yeah. That's that. No primer, but I did use this. So this actually came out about the sort of same time I started wearing makeup, and this is the Maybelline Dream Matte Mousse. Now all my friends started wearing foundation and I felt like I had to join the club, and this is what I purchased. I never really liked it. I always found that it was very dry and cakey, and apparently now they have redone the formula. It has actually got a primer inside it, and they've brought out more shades. I think the shade that I used to use was called Fair, and it was still quite it wasn't exactly great. It wasn't exactly a match for my skin tone. This is now Ivory. I think this looks like a better shade, but we will see. I used to use one of those round sponges, but I couldn't pick any of those up. So I have pulled out an old beauty blender. This is a Real Techniques one, and I've just given it a bit of a wash. Smells lovely. So we're just gonna kind of see how we get on. I think what I used to do was just kind of like draw it on my face and then just kind of squidge it in. I don't think I actually used to wear particularly a large amount. I just used to use a little bit, and as a result it used to last for ages. I also used to think that I put the sponge in and kind of got it on there and then just rubbed it in. And I just think now, oh my gosh, how unhygienic. Why did I do that? But I guess, you know, if you don't know, then you don't know, do you? This is a very kind of weird foundation. And I remember when it came out, I thought it was a little bit quirky, a little bit different. And I remember my mum buying it for me, and she was going, "Are you sure that's the one you want?" And I'd seen it on telly, and I was just like, "Yes, Mum, that's the one I want." Probably should have done a bit more research into it, because it really just doesn't do anything for my skin, I don't think. I feel like maybe I should put a bit more on. now I'm old. I'm not that old, but it covers up some of that redness. There we go. I never used to do my eyebrows either, and I never used to pluck them. So if you look in that picture, they don't look too bad, because I think the girls that I used to work with at the hairdressers actually just one day pinned me down and attacked them before that picture. But yeah, when I was younger, I never did anything with my brows. I just left them au naturel. And I think that was just because I was afraid. I used to hear quite a lot of horror stories of people coming in and they'd overpluck their brows and they'd never grow back. And I had quite dense brows. They were quite dense and they were quite heavy, so to speak. So I always used to think, I don't want to lose my brows, so I don't want to start plucking them in case it goes wrong. But in hindsight, you know, maybe it was gonna be okay. What I love about that picture as well, there's like no flashback in it, so I obviously wasn't wearing too much powder or anything, because you know, when you wear powder you get a lot of flashback, don't you? Although I do feel like my complexion has changed slightly, it has warmed up slightly in comparison to that picture where I looked deathly pale. Now I think I'm a little bit warmer, which is interesting. It's always interesting to look back in the past and go, you know, how have I changed? How's everything around me that I do changed? You know, that kind of thing. And I think I used to just go in. I'm preferring the finish when I'm putting it on and rubbing it into my skin. That's a bit weird, isn't it? But yeah, I think I used to go in and I actually used to just like go over my eyebrows with foundation, and it didn't like even occur to me that it might look a bit stupid, but who knows, who knows. Okay, so then to set my face I would use a just like a pressed powder. I think the one that I used to use unfortunately came from Avon, and you can't get it anymore. So I thought, you know what, we'll just make it up as we go along, and I'll just use some of my RMCA powder because that is what I've got. And I used to use a lot. I didn't, you know, shy away from a powder. I think partly that is why I probably look so pale in a lot of my pictures, was because I used to pack it on. And I used to find a lot of foundations, when I used to wear them, made me look very, very, very pale. And there was never any, my skin was flat. There wasn't any kind of definition or shape to my complexion. Not that I think I needed it, because I was quite young at the time, and I think sometimes it can be really flattering to have a very natural, flat, kind of porcelain finish to your skin. But I think now I'm a bit older, you know, you want to add that little bit of shape and dimension to your skin, because it's more flattering in a different way. So I think as you age and as you get older, your skin changes, and your understanding of what is pretty or what is flattering to you is different. And I think when I was younger, I think I wanted to look as pale as possible, because I was a little bit of a goth. Not like massively. I used to wear a lot of hoodies and listen to kind of like really intense emo style music, and you know, hang around with the wrong crowd, but I mean, you know, you live and you learn. I still listen to some kind of, you know, punky, rocky music, but you know, I listen to other stuff too, so I'm adaptable. Okay, so the next product I'm going to be using is by Bourjois. This is the one of their little like pot eyeshadows, and I remember when I first found this eyeshadow, going and swatching it in Superdrug and being like, oh, it's so pretty. So that's it there. It's just an amazingly like pretty green shimmery colour, and I just thought, oh, it's beautiful. I want to wear green eyeshadow for the rest of my life. And that is all I ever wore, was green eyeshadow. I used to mix it up sometimes with like slightly different greens, but I always put this over the top. And if I could find the Barry M Dazzle Dust that I used that was in the same kind of green that I kind of slapped on top, I would have done. But yeah, it's just, you know, like a pretty shimmery light green. So what I'm going to do today is, because this is a very old product and isn't performing exactly as it should do, I can tell you that now, because the pigmentation is a little bit powdery and it just kind of rubs off to nothing. I am going to go in and put like a base down of another green eyeshadow just to kind of help hold this on, and I'm also going to damp this down. I did actually used to use this tiny little applicator that came with it, and I used to run this under a tap and get it wet, and then really like yab it in there and get loads and loads, as much pigment on as possible. So I am going to go for as much green as I possibly can, and then I'm going to put some eyeliner on as well. So yeah, let's see how this goes. So the person that taught me about doing eyeshadows was my best friend. He was a little bit more into makeup than I was. He was gay, and he still is gay, but he taught me about the way that he liked me to do my eyeshadow, and he actually used to do my eyeshadow a lot for me. He used to kind of want me to do like rainbow effects and all sorts of different weird concoctions of colours, and after, I think it was about 3 or 4 years, I ended up just having to say to him, enough is enough, you're not doing my makeup anymore, because he always used to try and make me look as much like a drag queen as possible, in the nicest possible way, but he always wanted like crazy colour, really bold eyeliner and wings and stuff like that, and it just wasn't me. It was him. He was kind of expressing his makeup tastes using me as his muse or his palette, so to speak, because he just really wanted to wear makeup but couldn't, because we were still at school, and he wouldn't have been he would have got bullied and stuff like that. So we let him play with my face. Needless to say, I still got in trouble for some of the makeup that he used to make me wear, but it was fun at the time. But it did become quite apparent that it was more his style than it was mine. But the great thing that I found about it was that it really did give me a really good understanding of what kind of makeup I liked as a person, rather than kind of wanting to copy someone else's style, so to speak. I found my own style really easily, because he helped me. I don't think he really helped me find my own hairstyle though. That was another story for another day. So next we're going to go in with some eyeliner. Now I used to wear eyeliner without any other makeup. If I could get away with it, I would just wear eyeliner when I was younger. Eyeliner was my go-to #1 product, which if I was on a desert island, I would never, ever, ever be without. And I had about 20 different types of eyeliner. I used to go over with one. If it wasn't black enough or dense enough in blackness, I would go over with another one and another one. I'd apply it 3 or 4 times a day. By the end of the day, it'd probably all be down my face. But I always wanted to have that definition and contrast because my eyes were so pale. I always thought they were my best feature, and used to wear as much black eyeliner as I possibly could, which is fine, you know, if that's what you want to do, then that's what you want to do. But yeah, I have grown to understand that sometimes little is better than more, so to speak. So yeah, I'm just going to go in with a pencil eyeliner, because Trudy's doesn't exist anymore, which is where I used to buy it. But I think it was just like collection 2000 or something like that along those lines. It was really cheap eyeliner that I used to wear, and you know, it did the job. So when you're 16, 17, it doesn't really matter as much, I guess. You feel like everybody's looking at you, but I suppose, you know, you don't expect it to last you all day because you're not busy all day, or maybe you are, I don't know. But yeah, to me it didn't matter as much, the quality of the eyeliner, as long as it worked. Now I'm all about what can I put on that's going to stay on my eyes all day without having to reapply it. And this is a Zoeva pencil, which I got from their little black box collection that they did, and I love it. I'm really coming to the end of it already, and it has lasted me really well, and it stays on really well. I know you can't really see what I'm doing, but yeah, it stays on really well, and it looks pretty good when you apply it, and it stays looking pretty good all day. So I might repurchase this just because, although I've got other pencil eyeliners to use, I know they're not as good as this one, and I get really watery eyes. I didn't used to get watery eyes when I was younger, but as I've got older they've dried out slightly, and sometimes I have to use those like eye drops that make them like lubricated, so I don't end up with like my makeup pouring out my face. But yeah, just, you know, that little touch of eyeliner makes for me all the difference. Okay, so I'm just going to go in with some mascara. Mascara wise, I used to just use Avon or not Benefit. Who did I used to use? Collection, Benefit, Avon, anywhere that I could steal a mascara from. I think I mostly used to steal my mum's, because she doesn't wear mascara now, and I think it's just because I used to always steal her mascara, and I think she just eventually just gave up wearing it because she was just like, no, 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 she's wearing it, I don't need to wear it. So I never used to do my bottom lashes, which to me now is very weird. I only started like putting mascara on my bottom lashes probably about 12, well, not even 12 months ago. Like, even when I first started doing YouTube, I didn't find it a natural thing to do. I don't know why that was, because now if I don't put mascara on my bottom lashes, it just feels weird and looks weird. So gotta put it on my bottom lashes. I'm just going to zoom in so you can kind of see the finished eye. Okay, and then just a little bit of lip gloss. That's all we did to finish it off. Oh, so for my lip gloss, I'm going in with one of my products I featured in my favourites video. Don't forget to go and check that out. It's got a giveaway on it at the moment. But this is the Ultra Glossy Kathleen Lights collab with Colourpop, and this is in the shade Child Moon. So this is just like a very natural, neutral colour with like a tiny like little bit of gold in it. I don't think what I used to wear used to be quite as sophisticated as this, but it was definitely as natural. I never used to wear bold, bright colours on my lips. I used to think that it just was too much contrast between my pale skin and yeah, the rest of my face. Probably because I didn't used to do any contouring or highlighting or blusher or anything like that. I mean, that was it. That was literally my makeup. Definitely, I mean, it looks okay. It just doesn't look particularly exciting. I definitely think that I will be going back in and putting in some shaping. Let me just zoom out a little bit. I also used to dye my hair either bright red or really like a dark browny colour, which now at the moment is more of like an auburny colour with some blonde bits, so it's a little bit you know, different, but I always used to wear quite a smoky eye. So yes, that was me. So that is pretty much as close as we're going to get to the extra pale version of me. But oh my gosh, my skin looks so good in that picture. Wow. I can't see a blemish, a freckle, a spot, nothing. Oh, amazing. Yeah. Super duper. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed this video and seeing the types of makeup that I used to do when I was younger. Don't forget to like and subscribe if you enjoy these types of videos. And yeah, I will see you all next time. Take care. Bye.